Hey there, welcome. I'm Damien. I'm just another starving artist on the internet, and today we're doing something different from usual. We are not at my room doing art. We are at Comic Con. It is technically day zero. It's Friday, the day before the Comic Con opens. Today's setup day, and it's been a day. It's been a day. Um, so Oh, my hands are shaking because I'm gonna show you. I've been carrying all of this all morning. It's in total about 60, 70 kilos. I remember I weighted it before I left home. I don't remember exactly how much it is, but it's too much to carry all the way from mid England in public transport to London and then move around London. Also, one of the wheels of my trolley broke off. So yeah, that's fun. And yeah, I'm here. I have to set up now. So yeah, let's set up. Right. So let's see what's been happening. First, I'm going to tell you a bit about what this convention is. So it's called MegaconLive London. It is the first time they do it, so I have no reference whether it's going to be good, bad, and not just me. No one knows because it's never been done before. I have done MegaCon Live Manchester and Birmingham last year, both of them. And I have to say they were kind of bad. They were bad. They were just bad. Because breaking even is not really good when it comes to conventions. Like you're trying to make at least some money, but if you're just making your cost back, just the cost of the table, travel, accommodation, and a little bit like the production of what you've been making, like my prints and keychains and stuff. So yeah, it's not really. I have to say, conventions in the UK are not that good. You see a lot of other blogs from like conventions in the US and other places in Europe. They talk about their profits like in a completely different way that sounds alien to me because of my experience with conventions in the UK. So I might start trying conventions abroad, not in the UK. Other than MCM, it feels like there's no point in doing any other conventions. But yeah, we don't know what this convention is gonna be like. Let's hope it's good. Let's hope I mean, it's not going to compete with MCM, but it can try to, right? I couldn't film a lot of my setup because a lot more people started showing up to like do their own setups, and yeah, my cameras were like getting in the way, and I was filming people that perhaps didn't want to be filmed and stuff. So I stopped that. I will record more of the venue and the tables that are around tomorrow morning. I'll go early before they open and have a walk around with the camera. So that's the B-roll that you're gonna see next. Yeah, I'm not really good at vlogs, if I'm honest. So yeah, I'm now at my hotel. As you can tell, again, this is not the usual place. Yeah, I'm just gonna clean myself a little and go eat something because I haven't. I mean, I ate a sandwich, but like, is that really eating? So I haven't eaten all day, just that sandwich. Haven't drunk anything at all, and I am thirsty. So it's a new day, and the light in this room is shit, if I'm completely honest. But anyways, it's Saturday. I didn't just wake up. I had a shower and I'm having a coffee before I head off to the first official day of MegaconLive London. I'm not feeling very optimistic about it. I mean, it's. I said what I think about it yesterday. Yeah, did I tell you I suck at vlogging? To be fair, I don't really watch vlogs, so I don't really have a reference to like what's quality and what isn't. Does that make sense? So yeah, we're gonna head off to MegaconLive now and see what we find. See if there's people. Apparently they sold out on entries and tickets, so maybe it's gonna be good, but we never know. Right, I'll see you in a bit. So we are already at MegaCon, and MegaCon just opened up. I have to. Camera is not focusing. There we go. Camera is focused. So I have to explain the MegaCon does this. So MegaCon is organized by people that used to run MCM some many years ago. And in MCM, the artist village or the artist area is actually called Comic Village. And they have a special emphasis on like actual production of indie comics and stuff. And MegaCon kind of is still pushing that kind of stuff. So we have the Creators Village and the Comic Village, which are technically in the end they end up working like two artist village, because I don't know in other countries, but at least in the UK there aren't that many people that are making independent comics and selling them at Comic Con, right? Not saying that they're not making independent comics. They are just not selling them at Comic Con because it's just quite hard to sell original content at Comic Con. So people don't know what to expect. You can't sell them stuff on the spot, basically. It's at least that's how I see it. There's also this other thing. I don't know if they did it this year. Not this year because it's the first time I do MegaCon London. But they used to do it in Birmingham and Manchester. So they had a priority entry and a normal entry. So priority will come in at 9, or be allowed to come in at 9. And the standard tickets will be allowed to come in at 11. It will seem to me like they haven't done that for this one, but I'm not entirely sure. I will have to check the website, to be honest. I didn't check. Also, the light is really bad. I was complaining about the lights in the hotel earlier, but yeah, the lights are really bad in this convention as well. They are very dull, and my setup, as you can see up here, is also quite on the dark side. So I feel like my stuff is not being doesn't really. I don't know how to explain it. Doesn't it's not highlighted. Doesn't get a lot of attention. It's not eye-catching. That's the word I'm looking for. It's not eye-catching. So it's not focusing again. So exactly what I was fearing is what is happening right now. It is 12:24 and I've just made my first sale of the day. 3 hours and a half after opening. Which was kind of expected because that's how I normally do in conventions. But it's still kind of discouraging. We're gonna keep going. My helper's here. He's gonna be here in a moment. So yeah, that was the first sale, and we're gonna see how the rest of the day goes. And that's where the footage ends. It has been a few days since MegaconLive now, and this part of the video is actually scripted. This convention was quite horrible. I was not really in the mood to keep filming when I was there, and I took my time writing this to make sure I didn't leave anything out. And my trolley broke on the way to the venue, so I was already not in the best mood to tackle the event with enthusiasm anyway. So let's recount the events now. Friday, after dragging all my stuff for 4 hours on public transport and the streets of London, my trolley broke at the entrance of the venue. At least I was already there, but I still had an hour left until I was allowed in. So I dragged my boxes to the nearest food provider, an insanely overpriced Mexican sandwich shop that was in fact not run by Mexicans, and waited to be let in. I was allowed in. I'm the first artist in Artist Alley, and I'm there setting up, accompanied only by my own thoughts. Then more artists started showing up, met some friends, made some new ones, finished setting up, and I went to check on my hotel. Ran into other artist friends at the hotel, and we had dinner together. Next day, Saturday. I head to the venue, and despite knowing that it's still early and it hasn't opened yet, I can't help but think that the entrance feels too empty. No queue has formed yet, and there's only 30 minutes until we open. I fear the worst. You know, the worst coming from an event as a trader. Not the actual worst for real. I made my first sale 3 hours in. Let me repeat that. 3 hours in. Cool, there's a line to meet Taz Skylar now. I'm not personally interested, but that may bring some people over. Only it didn't. No one even stops to look at my table for longer than 2 or 3 seconds. Though most don't even acknowledge my presence. Like my table is in a different dimensional space that only I can perceive. The rest of the day proceeds uneventfully. Too uneventfully, in fact. Sunday, last day. I don't even know why I was there for the first half of the day. I made my first sale on Sunday, 5 hours in, and only 2 hours before closing. It was a single postcard, my cheapest product, and my trolley is still broken. I imagine you understand now, dear listener, why I was not in the mood to keep filming at all. The event finished. I traded some art with some of my table neighbors. I packed up and brute forced my boxes back to my hotel. The rest is irrelevant. First of all, I want to make it clear that I don't blame the organizers, Malo Events, for my poor performance during the event. Although it's quite ironic to me, being Spanish and all, that their company name sort of translates as a bad events in Spanish. I think Malo Events did what they could in the circumstances they found themselves in, and I should also change a few things in my setup for future conventions. However, I was informed that weekend tickets were sold out, and honestly, the footfall that I got around my table did definitely not reflect that at all. I was also not the only one that had this impression after talking to other traders and even some visitors. A lot of us noticed how relatively empty it felt for a Comic-Con. I was also near the autograph area, with some big-name guests like Catherine Kate, Taz Skylar, and Jeremy Shada. The only times I saw a peak in footfall was the times where they were doing their meet and greet sessions. That could have been a good thing, but everyone there had one thing in mind, and it was to meet the celebrities, not support a random indie illustrator with barely any fan base like myself. As soon as their meet and greets were over, the aisle I was at was, once again, completely deserted. The venue this con was being held at is actually a very good venue. It is the same place they hold MCM London, which is the biggest Comic-Con in the UK that everyone wants to get in, including myself. But I have been applying for several years now and never been accepted. However, the main train line that takes you directly to the venue was cancelled this weekend for some reason. I believe because of some maintenance or repairs going on. Not sure. And that may have affected attendance numbers, though I don't think it affected it too much. And while we're talking about the venue, the lights were really bad. That's not specific to this venue. I've had the same issue in other conventions in different venues before. I know what my prints look like because I printed them. I've seen them under good light conditions. And even I think my setup was not that eye-catching under this lighting. And there was a lot of glare on the large prints that I was displaying in the backdrop. I will show a picture right now. I shared some feedback with other fellow artists at the con, and I'm already working on a better way to display my prints. Despite all of this, the biggest issue of this convention is that the crowd was just not my audience. I have noticed there are basically two main strategies when it comes to making sales at a convention. You can have a lot of small things that sell for relatively cheap, like stickers and button pins. You have pricier things as well, but in this strategy you rely heavily on the smaller, cheaper products to make the bulk of the profits. On the other hand, there's me. I have expensive prints and accessories, so that I only need a few sales to start making a profit. Basically selling a lot of cheaper products versus selling a few expensive products. In a similar way, there is a scale to how much fan art artists have in their catalog. There's those that have exclusively fan art, then those that have some fan art and some original work to varying degrees. And then there's me. I have original work only. So here's a graph that depicts this. I don't mean to discredit the artists that do cheap fan art products. Please go watch my video about fan art if you want to hear what I actually think of it. But yeah, I'm here in the hard as shit quadrant by choice because I refuse to do the easier stuff. And I'm not saying that the easy quadrant is actually easy. It's just easier. But being a convention artist here in the UK is hard as shit by default anyway. However, even if I'm deep in the hard as shit quadrant, with the right audience in the right events, you can go back home needing an extra wallet or two. I don't know what those events are, to be honest. And out of the ones I've done so far, none of them have had the right audience. And the ones I haven't done are either too hard for me to physically get to, or I already know that they're not good events, or I have been applying for years and they keep rejecting me. Looking at you, MCM and Thought Bubble. So let's wrap up now. For a convention in the middle of bloody London, it was shit. Genuine shit. I don't know what happened. The venue was good. Tickets were sold out, but I barely saw anyone in there. Regarding sales, I sold more kitchens and postcards than big prints and books. But it's not that I sold that much anyway, so those statistics are basically meaningless. I couldn't even cover the cost of the table, and my trolley broke. Did I tell you that? I believe the event has potential. It's the first edition and it has a lot of room for improvement. But I'm not going to keep trying until it gets good. I'll wait until then to try again in a better location with a better setup. And well, that's all I have to say for now. If you like my work, you can find all my social media in a link in the description. And if you would like to support me, you can find my Ko-fi and Patreon page in the same link. But if you want something physical and solid in return for your support, you can visit my shop also in the same link and get any of the prints I was selling at Comic-Con which I didn't sell. So I am still fully stocked. And you know, like, subscribe and do all the YouTube things that make the algorithm happy. So yeah, keep drawing, keep getting better, and I'll see you next time.